Hi, I'm Vance, and welcome to Repair and Replace. If your water heater isn't working, then it's likely that the pilot flame has gone out. If you tried to light the pilot and it won't stay lit, then it could be a problem with the thermopile or thermal cutoff switch. In this episode, first we'll learn how it all works. Then we'll test the thermopile and thermal cutoff switch. Specifically, we'll be troubleshooting a standing pilot water heater with an electronic gas valve. Now, if you have a conventional gas valve, then you can learn more in the troubleshooting video linked below. Let's begin. Standing pilot water heaters use a pilot flame that burns continuously and will ignite the main burner whenever heat is needed. Next to the pilot is the thermopile, which generates a small electrical current when heated by the pilot flame. This produces less voltage than a AA battery, but enough to power the electronic gas valve and diagnostics. The thermopile also acts as a safety switch. If the pilot light goes out, then the thermopile will cool down. The voltage will drop, and the gas valve will shut off. This prevents unburnt gas from being released into your home. Now, if the thermopile is faulty, then it will also prevent the pilot from staying lit. Additionally, the TCO, or thermal cutoff switch, is wired in series with the thermopile. If the temperature in the combustion chamber gets too high, then the switch will trip and cut power to the valve. Always be smart when working with gas. If you notice a strong gas odor at any point, then shut off the gas, ventilate the area, and immediately call a technician. First, remove the cover and check all the electrical connections to make sure that they are secure. Also, if the thermal switch has a button, then it's likely resettable. Simply press the button to reset the switch. Now, relight the pilot. If the pilot still doesn't stay lit, then the thermopile and thermal cutoff switch can both be tested together. Simply light the pilot and test the voltage to see if it's functioning normally. First, set the multimeter to the volts DC option. Disconnect the two wires that lead into the control valve. Now connect the probes to each connector. Relight the pilot and hold down the button. The voltage should start to rise over the next few minutes as the thermopile heats up. In an open circuit test, a healthy thermopile should read between 650 and 850 millivolts. If the multimeter reads under 400 millivolts, then the pilot might have trouble staying lit. Over time, a buildup of carbon will act as an insulator and will reduce the voltage. One solution is to clean it, but in a lot of cases, it's best to install a new thermopile. You can see how to do this in the video linked below. If there is no voltage during the first test, then isolate the thermopile. Remove the wire leading to the thermal switch. Now connect the multimeter probe to the thermopile wire. Relight the pilot and measure the voltage. If the voltage is low or if there is no voltage, then replace the thermopile. If the thermopile is healthy, then it's possible that the thermal cutoff switch is faulty. Not all thermal switches have a reset button. Some will reset automatically, and some water heaters will use a one-time fuse. Regardless, you can test the switch for continuity to see if a continuous electrical signal can pass through it. First, set the multimeter to the ohm setting. Disconnect the wires to the switch. Place the probes on the terminals. If the multimeter reads OL or open loop, then there's no continuity and the switch should be replaced. Another safety switch is the ECO or energy cutoff. If the temperature inside of the tank gets too high, then the gas valve will shut off. When this happens, you'll likely get an error code the next time you light the pilot. If the energy cutoff is tripped, then you'll have to replace the control valve. If the pilot keeps on going out or the thermal switch keeps tripping, then it could be an airflow issue. Dust can accumulate under the tank or in the flame arrestor screen that supplies air to the burner. This should be cleaned as part of regular maintenance by using a long brush. Additionally, check the flue opening above the tank, making sure it's free of any objects or debris. You can check the airflow by doing a draft test. Turn the main burner on. You should feel cool air being pulled into the vent hood. If you notice warm air coming out of the vent, then it's best to call a technician. Hopefully this has helped you get your water heater working again. For more troubleshooting on water heaters, furnaces, and appliances, then subscribe to our channel. And if you need help, you can call or visit an AMRE location to talk with our knowledgeable staff. Thanks for watching.